Welcome to Sri Lanka, the stunning island nation that Christopher Columbus once mistook for the biblical Garden of Eden. Today, we explore 10 breathtaking destinations that demonstrate why this teardrop-shaped island off the southern tip of India has captivated travelers for more than 2 millennia. Nestled in the Indian Ocean, Sri Lanka spans just 25,330 square miles, smaller than West Virginia, yet packs more diversity per square mile than almost anywhere on Earth. From misty mountain peaks soaring 8,000 feet above sea level to pristine beaches kissed by turquoise waters, from ancient kingdoms that predate Rome to colonial fortresses that tell tales of Portuguese, Dutch, and British rule, this island is a living museum wrapped in tropical paradise. The culture here is a mesmerizing tapestry woven from Sinhalese, Tamil, Muslim, and Burgher communities, each contributing their unique threads of tradition, cuisine, art, and spirituality. Buddhist temples with golden stupas stand alongside Hindu kovals adorned with colorful deities, while colonial churches and Islamic mosques complete this remarkable religious harmony. The island's history stretches back 2,500 years, with archaeological evidence of human settlement dating to 125,000 BCE. But here's what I want you to consider as we embark on this virtual expedition. What if I told you that in just 1 week, you could witness a sunrise from an 8th century fortress in the clouds, share tea with mountain villagers whose families have cultivated Ceylon tea for generations, snorkel with blue whales in crystal clear waters, and walk through streets where cinnamon traders once made fortunes that funded European empires? Ready to discover why Sri Lanka earned its Sanskrit name, Lanka, meaning the resplendent land? Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and check out our exclusive travel deals in the description below. Your Sri Lankan adventure awaits. Sigiriya. Rising dramatically from the central plains of Sri Lanka like a sleeping giant's fist, Sigiriya stands 660 feet tall in the heart of the Cultural Triangle, about 100 miles northeast of Colombo. This ancient volcanic plug, formed millions of years ago, dominates the landscape for miles around, visible from the nearby Pidurangala rock, and serving as a natural compass for travelers navigating the dry zone plains. In 477 CE, King Kashyapa, who had murdered his father to claim the throne, chose this seemingly impossible location to build his capital, not just a fortress, but an entire city in the sky. For 18 years, thousands of workers carved staircases into solid rock, constructed elaborate water gardens with fountains that still function today, and painted frescoes of celestial maidens on a sheer rock face 300 feet above ground. The Sigiriya frescoes, known as the Apsaras or celestial nymphs, represent one of the finest examples of ancient Sinhalese art. These 22 surviving paintings from an original 500 showcase women with elaborate jewelry and flowing garments, their faces bearing expressions so lifelike that visitors often feel they're being watched. The mirror wall, originally polished so brilliantly that the king could see his reflection, now bears over 1,500 pieces of ancient graffiti, poems and comments left by visitors over 1,300 years ago, making it perhaps the world's oldest tourist feedback system. The Lion's Gate, where massive stone paws still guard the final ascent, gives Sigiriya its name Lion Rock. The original lion's head, which visitors once passed through to reach the summit, has long since crumbled, but archaeological evidence shows it was carved with such precision that the mouth served as the entrance. The summit palace ruins reveal the foundations of what was once a magnificent structure with swimming pools carved from solid granite and gardens that seem to float in the clouds. The water gardens at the base represent the world's oldest landscaped gardens, featuring sophisticated hydraulic systems with underground ducts and surface drains that create fountains, streams, and pools. These gardens demonstrate the advanced engineering knowledge of 5th century Sri Lankan architects, incorporating principles of symmetry and proportion that wouldn't appear in European garden design for another 1,000 years. Sigiriya represents humanity's eternal desire to reach for the heavens, combining advanced ancient engineering with tragic royal ambition. This UNESCO World Heritage Site offers visitors a chance to literally walk through history, climbing the same stone steps that kings and courtiers once used, while experiencing one of the world's most spectacular sunrise views from a palace in the clouds. Ella. Perched at 3,400 feet above sea level in the Yuva province, Ella sits like a jewel in Sri Lanka's hill country crown, surrounded by emerald tea plantations that cascade down mountainsides like green waterfalls. This small town serves as the gateway to some of the island's most dramatic landscapes, where the central highlands meet the lowland plains, creating microclimates that support an incredible diversity of flora and fauna within just a few square miles. Ella's transformation from a quiet railway junction to a backpacker's paradise reflects Sri Lanka's colonial tea industry legacy. The British established tea plantations here in the 1860s after a coffee blight destroyed the original colonial crop. Tamil laborers brought from South India created a unique cultural blend that persists today. You'll hear Tamil prayers in Hindu temples nestled between Buddhist shrines, while estate workers' descendants maintain traditions of both classical Indian dance and Kandyan Sinhalese culture. The town's railway station, built in 1921, serves as a living museum of colonial engineering. The British constructed this mountain railway using innovative techniques to navigate the challenging terrain, creating what many consider one of the world's most scenic train journeys. Local legends speak of hidden temples in the surrounding forests where ancient meditation masters once achieved enlightenment, and villagers still point out caves where hermit monks are said to have meditated for decades. Little Adams Peak offers a gentle 30-minute hike rewarding visitors with 360-degree views of tea country without the challenging climb of its famous namesake. The summit provides perfect sunrise and sunset viewing points where the morning mist rolls through valleys like slow-motion tsunamis of cloud. Ella Rock, a more challenging 3-hour trek, takes adventurers through working tea estates where pickers with wicker baskets still harvest leaves by hand, their techniques unchanged for 150 years. The summit offers views across 3 provinces, with the southern coast visible on clear days 50 miles away. The Nine Arches Bridge, an architectural marvel built entirely without steel, spans a deep gorge using only stone, brick, and cement. Constructed in 1921, this viaduct demonstrates the ingenuity of colonial engineers who created a structure so perfectly integrated with its environment that it appears to have grown from the landscape itself. The best viewing time is mid-morning when the train crosses, creating a scene that looks like a vintage postcard come to life. Ravana Falls, cascading 82 feet in multiple tiers, is named after the legendary demon king of the Ramayana epic. Local tradition holds that Princess Sita was held captive in caves behind these falls, making this not just a natural wonder, but a sacred site where mythology and geography intertwine. Ella perfectly captures the magic of Sri Lanka's hill country, where colonial history Tamil and Sinhalese cultures, and stunning natural beauty converge in a small mountain town that feels like the edge of the world. Whether you're sipping Ceylon tea while watching sunrise from Little Adams Peak or listening to the echo of train whistles through mountain valleys, Ella offers a peaceful retreat where time moves at the pace of mountain mist. Kandy. Nestled in a valley surrounded by mountains at 1,640 feet above sea level, Kandy sits at the heart of Sri Lanka like a precious gem in an emerald setting. The Mahaweli River winds through the city center, feeding the artificial Kandy Lake that reflects the city's lights like a mirror each evening. This strategic location, 72 miles northeast of Colombo, made Kandy the last independent kingdom's capital, protected by mountains that served as natural fortifications against colonial invaders. For over 300 years, Kandy remained unconquered, while Portuguese and Dutch forces controlled the coastal regions. The kingdom developed a unique culture that preserved ancient Sinhalese traditions while incorporating influences from South Indian Tamil kingdoms. The last king, Sri Vikrama Rajasinha, was actually Tamil, demonstrating the cultural fluidity that characterized this mountain kingdom. The city's most sacred treasure, the Temple of the Sacred Tooth Relic, Sri Dalada Muligawa, houses what Buddhists believe to be Buddha's actual tooth, brought to Sri Lanka in 311 CE hidden in a princess's hair. Whoever possessed this relic was considered the rightful ruler of Sri Lanka, making it not just a religious artifact, but the ultimate symbol of political legitimacy. The British, recognizing its importance, allowed the relic to remain in Kandy even after they conquered the kingdom in 1815, understanding that removing it would make their rule impossible. The Kandy Ezala Perahera, held annually in July-August, represents one of Asia's most spectacular religious festivals. For 10 nights, hundreds of dancers, drummers, fire performers, and decorated elephants process through the streets in a pageant that has continued virtually unchanged for over 1,000 years. The culmination features the Muligawa elephant carrying a replica of the tooth relic casket, accompanied by traditional Kandyan dancers whose athletic performances tell stories of ancient gods and kings. The Temple of the Sacred Tooth Relic Complex showcases the finest examples of Kandyan architecture, with wooden pillars carved by craftsmen whose skills were passed down through generations of temple builders. The inner chamber where the tooth relic resides opens only at specific times, creating an atmosphere of mystery and reverence that has drawn pilgrims for over 1,700 years. Kandy Lake, created by the last king in 1807, serves as the city's centerpiece. Legend claims the lake is cursed. Anyone who harms it will face destruction. The British initially planned to drain it, but abandoned the idea after a series of mysterious accidents befell the engineers. Today, the lake provides a peaceful walking circuit where visitors can observe water monitors, kingfishers, and the occasional elephant that comes to drink at dawn. The Royal Botanical Gardens of Peradeniya, originally the pleasure garden of Kandyan royalty, spans 147 acres, containing over 4,000 species of plants. The famous giant Java fig tree, with a canopy covering nearly half an acre, has provided shade for over 160 years. During World War II, Lord Louis Mountbatten used these gardens as his Southeast Asia Command headquarters, making crucial decisions about the Burma campaign while walking among orchids and spice trees. The Bhairavananda Vihara Buddha statue, towering 88 feet above the city, offers panoramic views of Kandy's red-tiled roofs and surrounding mountains. Built in the 1990s, this modern addition to Kandy's skyline demonstrates how the city continues to evolve while maintaining its spiritual significance. Kandy represents the soul of Sri Lankan Buddhism and Sinhalese culture, a city where ancient traditions thrive amidst modern life. From the sacred tooth relic that legitimized kingdoms to the colonial botanical gardens where world-changing decisions were made, Kandy offers visitors a chance to experience living history in one of Asia's most beautifully preserved cultural capitals. Trincomalee. Trincomalee boasts one of the world's finest natural harbors, a deepwater port on Sri Lanka's northeast coast that has attracted merchants, admirers, and conquerors for over 2,000 years. The harbor, protected by rocky headlands and accessible through a narrow channel, creates a natural fortress that has made Trinco strategically vital throughout history. The city sits where the Bay of Bengal meets the Indian Ocean, creating unique maritime conditions that support incredible biodiversity both above and below the waves. This ancient port has been a melting pot of civilizations since before the Common Era. Tamil kingdoms, Portuguese conquistadors, Dutch merchants, British admirals, and Japanese warships have all sought to control this harbor. During World War II, Trincomalee served as the headquarters for the British Eastern Fleet, making it a primary target for Japanese air raids in 1942, the same attack force that had struck Pearl Harbor just months earlier. The city's name derives from Thirukoneswaram, referring to the ancient Hindu temple dedicated to Lord Shiva that has crowned Swami Rock for over 2,400 years. This temple was once called the Rome of the Orient by early European visitors who marveled at its 1,000 pillars and astronomical precision. The Portuguese destroyed much of the original structure in 1624, but the temple was rebuilt and remains one of Hinduism's most sacred sites, where devotees believe prayers are answered with particular power. The cultural blend here reflects centuries of maritime trade. Tamil fishermen still use traditional outrigger boats called oruvas, unchanged since ancient times, while Muslim merchants descended from Arab traders continue businesses their families have operated for generations. The local Tamil dialect contains words from Portuguese, Dutch, and Arabic, creating a unique linguistic fusion found nowhere else in Sri Lanka. Koneswaram Temple, perched dramatically on Swami Rock 400 feet above the ocean, offers visitors both spiritual significance and breathtaking views. The temple's main shrine contains a lingam that devotees believe was installed by Lord Rama himself during his journey to Lanka. The annual Koneswaram festival draws thousands of pilgrims who participate in ceremonies that include carrying kavadi, decorated frameworks, as acts of devotion and penance. Fort Frederick, built by the Portuguese in 1623 and expanded by the Dutch and British, represents one of South Asia's best preserved colonial fortifications. Walking through its gates is like entering a time machine. British colonial buildings still house government offices, while the fort's walls offer commanding views of the harbor that made admirals from 3 different empires covet this strategic position. Pigeon Island National Park, just a boat ride from the main beach, protects some of Sri Lanka's most pristine coral reefs. The island earned its name from the rock pigeons that nest in its cliffs, but visitors come for the underwater wonders, healthy coral gardens that support over 300 fish species, including reef sharks, parrotfish, and schools of yellowfin tuna that create living tornadoes of silver in the blue water. The hot springs at Kania, 7 natural springs with varying temperatures, have been used for healing since ancient times. Local legend attributes their creation to Lord Rama's arrows, while scientists explain them as geothermal activity. Regardless of origin, these springs maintain constant temperatures year-round and are believed to have therapeutic properties that draw visitors seeking both physical and spiritual healing. Marble Beach and Nilivli Beach stretch for miles with powder-white sand and crystal-clear water perfect for swimming, snorkeling, and whale watching. Between May and September, blue whales, the largest animals ever to exist on Earth, feed in the deep waters just offshore, offering visitors the chance to witness these gentle giants in their natural habitat. Trincomalee combines strategic maritime significance with natural beauty and cultural diversity, creating a destination where ancient temples overlook harbor waters that have witnessed 2,000 years of history. Whether you're exploring colonial fortifications, snorkeling among pristine coral reefs, or watching blue whales breach in the distance, Trincomalee offers adventures that connect visitors with both human heritage and natural wonders. Galle. Positioned on Sri Lanka's southwestern tip, where the Indian Ocean crashes against ancient ramparts, Galle Fort stands as a 90-acre testament to colonial ambition and local resilience. This World Heritage Site occupies a rocky peninsula that juts into the sea like a stone ship, creating natural harbors on both sides that have sheltered merchants and warriors for over 500 years. Galle's story begins with a geographical accident that changed world history. In 1505, a Portuguese fleet seeking the Maldives was blown off course by monsoon winds and discovered this protected harbor instead. What they found was already an established trading post where Arab merchants had been conducting business for centuries, exchanging Sri Lankan cinnamon, gems, and elephants for Middle Eastern goods. The Portuguese built the first fortifications, but it was the Dutch who transformed Galle into an architectural masterpiece between 1649 and 1796. They created not just a fort, but a complete colonial city with European-style streets, Dutch reformed churches, and administrative buildings that still function today. The Dutch East India Company made Galle their principal port in Sri Lanka, and for 150 years, ships loaded with cinnamon, cardamom, and precious stones departed these docks for Amsterdam, making Dutch merchants some of the wealthiest people in Europe. The fort's unique charm comes from its living history. This isn't a museum, but a functioning community where fourth-generation Dutch burgher families live alongside Tamil fishermen, Sinhalese shopkeepers, and Muslim gem traders. The narrow cobblestone streets echo with children playing cricket against 300-year-old walls, while grandmothers sell traditional sweetmeats from the same doorways their great-grandmothers once used. The Dutch Reformed Church, built in 1755, contains the oldest Protestant pulpit in Sri Lanka and floor stones inscribed with Dutch family crests. The church's pipe organ, imported from Holland in 1760, still plays hymns every Sunday, filling the stone interior with music that has echoed off these walls for over 250 years. The Galle Fort ramparts provide a perfect sunset walk where visitors can observe the daily ritual of local fishermen returning with their catches, while waves crash dramatically against the seawall. The ramparts stretch nearly a mile around the fort's perimeter, offering different perspectives of the harbor, lighthouse, and colonial architecture with each turn. Maritime Museum, housed in a Dutch warehouse, displays artifacts recovered from shipwrecks in Galle Harbor, including 17th-century Chinese porcelain, Dutch coins, and navigation instruments that tell stories of maritime adventures and disasters. The museum's prize exhibit is a collection of maps showing how European understanding of Sri Lanka evolved from Portuguese guesswork to Dutch precision. Clock Tower, built by the British in 1883, serves as the fort's most recognizable landmark and meeting point. Local tradition holds that wishes made while the clock strikes noon will come true, leading to the daily gathering of hopeful visitors and residents at this intersection of Queen Street and Church Street. The lighthouse, constructed in 1938 to replace an older Dutch tower, continues to guide ships safely into harbor. The surrounding area has become Galle's most photographed spot, where the white lighthouse contrasts dramatically with red-tiled roofs and blue ocean, creating scenes that seem painted rather than real. Galle Fort represents the perfect preservation of colonial Sri Lanka, where Dutch urban planning, Portuguese fortification, and British administration created a unique architectural heritage that continues to thrive as a living community. Walking these ramparts at sunset, with waves crashing below and history surrounding you, provides an unforgettable connection to 5 centuries of maritime adventure and cultural fusion. Captivated. Perched precariously at 4,429 feet above sea level along the southern edge of Sri Lanka's Central Highlands, Captivated offers some of the island's most dramatic mountain scenery. This small town sits on a narrow ridge where the mountains drop sharply toward the southern plains, creating the sensation of standing at the edge of the world. On clear days, visitors can see all the way to the southern coast, 40 miles away and 4,000 feet below. Caputed's development mirrors Sri Lanka's colonial tea industry transformation. British planters established tea estates here in the 1870s after discovering that the elevation, rainfall, and soil conditions produced exceptionally high-quality tea. The town became a crucial link in the mountain railway system, with trains bringing supplies up and taking tea down to Colombo's export warehouses. The area's cultural landscape reflects the complex social structure of colonial plantations. British planters built Victorian-style bungalows with magnificent views, while Tamil estate workers brought from South India created their own communities with Hindu temples and Tamil schools. Today, their descendants maintain traditions of both classical Tamil culture and Sri Lankan estate life, creating unique festivals that blend Hindu religious observances with local mountain customs. Local folklore speaks of ancient meditation caves hidden in the surrounding peaks, where Buddhist monks achieved enlightenment during their forest wanderings. The name, Haputale itself, comes from Sinhalese words meaning meeting place of the winds, referring to the meteorological phenomenon where different air currents converge at this elevation, creating the swirling mists and sudden weather changes that characterize mountain life. Lipton's Seat, named after the Scottish tea baron Sir Thomas Lipton, offers panoramic views across 5 provinces from the chair-shaped rock formation where Lipton once sat to survey his tea empire. The 30-minute hike through working tea plantations provides insights into tea cultivation while leading to sunrise and sunset views that Lipton himself declared the finest in the world. The Dambaton Tea Factory, established by Lipton in 1890, continues to operate using machinery and methods virtually unchanged for over 130 years. Visitors can observe the complete tea-making process from withering to packaging, while learning how elevation, climate, and processing techniques create the distinctive flavor profiles that made Ceylon tea world famous. The factory's museum displays Lipton's original equipment and photographs showing colonial-era tea production. World's End in nearby Horton Plains National Park provides the ultimate cliff edge experience, a sheer 2,700-foot drop that offers views across the southern plains to the ocean on clear mornings. The 3-hour trek through cloud forest and grasslands leads to both World's End and Mini World's End, smaller but equally dramatic precipices that demonstrate the geological forces that created Sri Lanka's highlands. Haputale offers visitors the chance to experience Sri Lanka's tea country heritage while enjoying some of the island's most spectacular mountain scenery. Whether you're sipping freshly made tea while watching sunrise from Lipton's Seat or exploring a Victorian mansion-turned-monastery, Haputale provides intimate encounters with both colonial history and natural beauty at the edge of the world. Colombo. Stretching along Sri Lanka's western coast, where the Kelani River meets the Indian Ocean, Colombo serves as the island's commercial heart and primary gateway for international visitors. The city's natural harbor, protected by breakwaters and deepened by constant dredging, handles over 70% of Sri Lanka's international trade. Urban Colombo encompasses 15 districts spreading inland from the coast, creating a metropolitan area home to over 2.3 million people, nearly 25% of the island's population. Colombo's history spans over 2,000 years, beginning as a small trading settlement called Colorambathota, Port of Mango Trees, by ancient Sinhalese kings. Arab merchants established permanent trading posts here by the 8th century, followed by Chinese Admiral Zheng He's treasure fleets in the 15th century. Each colonial power, Portuguese, Dutch, and British, left architectural and cultural legacies that create today's unique urban landscape. The British transformed Colombo from a tropical trading post into a modern colonial capital, constructing the harbour facilities, railway system, and administrative buildings that still anchor the city. Independence in 1948 brought rapid growth as rural populations migrated to urban opportunities, creating the diverse cultural mix that characterizes modern Colombo. Today, Buddhist temples stand alongside Hindu hovels, Islamic mosques, and Christian churches, while street vendors selling traditional hoppers work next to international fast food chains. The city's role as South Asia's commercial hub attracts business travelers, while its position as the Indian Ocean's central shipping point makes Colombo a crucial logistics center for goods moving between Europe, Asia, and the Americas. This commercial significance has created a cosmopolitan atmosphere where Tamil, Sinhalese, English, and Arabic mix in daily business conversations. The Gangaramya temple complex represents modern Sri Lankan Buddhism's adaptation to urban life. Built in the late 19th century, this temple combines traditional architecture with eclectic collections of gifts from devotees worldwide. Vintage cars, clocks, ivory carvings, and even a Rolls-Royce occupy spaces between prayer halls and meditation rooms. The annual Navam Perahera, organized by Gangaramya, brings traditional pageantry to Colombo's busy streets. Fort District, the original Portuguese and Dutch fortified area, now serves as Colombo's central business district. Colonial buildings house banks, government offices, and international businesses, while the old fort walls have given way to modern hotels and shopping centers. The President's House, originally the Dutch governor's residence, demonstrates how colonial architecture adapted to tropical conditions with wide verandas, high ceilings, and cross-ventilation designed to cope with monsoon heat and humidity. Peta Market creates a sensory explosion where traditional Sri Lankan commerce thrives in organized chaos. This 200-year-old bazaar area divides into specialized streets: Gold Street for jewelry, C Street for Ayurvedic medicines, Main Street for textiles, while maintaining the bargaining traditions and personal relationships that have characterized South Asian trade for centuries. Galle Fort Green, a half-mile oceanfront promenade created by the British in 1859, serves as Colombo's central gathering place, where families fly kites, young couples share romantic sunsets, and food vendors sell everything from iso wade, shrimp fritters, to ice cream. The contrast between colonial-era Galle Fort Hotel and modern high-rise apartments creates a visual timeline of Colombo's urban evolution. Colombo successfully balances its role as a modern commercial capital with preservation of cultural traditions, creating a dynamic urban experience where ancient temples share space with international businesses and traditional markets coexist with modern shopping centers. The city offers visitors authentic Sri Lankan urban life, alongside easy access to historical sites, cultural performances, and culinary adventures that represent the island's diverse heritage. Sigiriya. Located 60 miles south of Colombo, along Sri Lanka's southwest coast, Sigiriya stretches along a 4-mile crescent of golden sand, protected by one of the island's most accessible coral reefs. The town sits where coconut plantations meet the Indian Ocean, creating a tropical paradise where palm trees lean over beaches and coral gardens begin just steps from shore. Sigiriya began as a quiet fishing village where Sinhalese fishermen used traditional stilt fishing techniques and outrigger boats to harvest the reef's bounty. The 1960s brought the first international travelers, adventurous backpackers following the hippie trail from Europe to India, who discovered this pristine beach and decided to stay. These early visitors created Sigiriya's reputation as a laid-back paradise where Western beach culture mixed with traditional Sri Lankan coastal life. Transformation accelerated in the 1980s when European tour operators began including Sigiriya in package tour, bringing snorkeling and diving enthusiasts who came specifically for the coral reef. Local fishing families adapted to tourism by offering boat trips, learning to cook international food, and converting their homes into guest houses. This organic growth created Sigiriya's unique character, a beach resort that maintains its village atmosphere and local authenticity. The 2004 tsunami devastated Sigiriya's coastline, destroying hotels, restaurants, and homes while claiming over 400 local lives. The community's remarkable recovery demonstrates Sri Lankan resilience. Within 2 years, most facilities had been rebuilt with improved tsunami-resistant designs, while the coral reef, initially feared destroyed, showed remarkable natural recovery that surprised marine biologists. Hikkaduwa Marine National Park protects 101 hectares of coral reef ecosystem, where over 170 species of fish thrive in gardens of staghorn, brain, and table corals. Glass-bottom boat tour allow non-swimmers to observe this underwater wonderland, while snorkelers can swim alongside sea turtles, reef sharks, and schools of tropical fish in water so clear that the bottom remains visible at 30-foot depths. The Coral Sanctuary, accessible directly from the main beach, offers easy snorkeling for beginners while providing habitat for juvenile fish that will later populate the deeper reef areas. Conservation efforts here include coral restoration projects, where visitors can participate in replanting damaged reef sections, contributing directly to marine ecosystem recovery. The Sunday Fish Market showcases traditional Sri Lankan coastal commerce, where fishermen display their dawn catches of tuna, red snapper, prawns, and crab, while buyers from restaurants and local families negotiate prices in animated Sinhalese conversations. The market provides authentic cultural experiences and the freshest seafood, often still moving when purchased. Tsunami Honganji Vihara, built with Japanese assistance after the 2004 disaster, serves as both a memorial to tsunami victims and a symbol of international cooperation in recovery efforts. The temple's modern architecture incorporates traditional Buddhist elements with Japanese design influences, creating a peaceful space for reflection and remembrance. Hikkaduwa represents the successful evolution of a traditional fishing village into an international beach destination, while maintaining its authentic Sri Lankan character and commitment to marine conservation. Whether you're snorkeling above pristine coral reefs, sharing sunset conversations with local fishermen, or participating in coral restoration projects, Hikkaduwa offers beach paradise with environmental and cultural meaning. Jaffna. Situated at Sri Lanka's northern tip, just 20 miles from India's coast, Jaffna occupies a strategic peninsula where the Bay of Bengal meets the Palk Strait. This ancient city sits among a cluster of islands connected by causeways and ferries, creating a unique geography where Tamil culture has flourished in relative isolation for over 1,000 years. The flat, arid landscape contrasts sharply with Sri Lanka's tropical south, resembling South India's Tamil Nadu region both climatically and culturally. Jaffna's Tamil heritage predates European colonization by centuries, with archaeological evidence suggesting continuous Tamil settlement since the 3rd century BCE. The Jaffna Kingdom, established in the 13th century, maintained independence longer than any other Sri Lankan state, finally falling to the Portuguese only in 1621. This political autonomy allowed Jaffna Tamil culture to develop distinct characteristics, a unique dialect, architectural styles, and cultural practices that differ from both South Indian Tamil traditions and southern Sri Lankan customs. The Dutch period, 1658–1796, brought significant changes as Protestant missionaries translated Christian texts into Tamil, creating the first printed Tamil books in Sri Lanka. Dutch colonial administrators, recognizing Tamil educational achievements, established schools that produced administrators, clerks, and professionals who would dominate Sri Lankan civil service for generations. This educational emphasis created a Tamil intellectual class that contributed significantly to Sri Lankan literature, journalism, and politics. The 30-year Civil War, 1983–2009, devastated Jaffna's infrastructure and displaced much of its population. But the city's remarkable recovery demonstrates the resilience of Tamil culture. Rebuilt Hindu temples now host festivals that had been suspended for decades, while Tamil libraries destroyed during the conflict have been reconstructed with international assistance, preserving manuscripts and cultural artifacts that represent centuries of Tamil intellectual achievement. Jaffna Fort, originally built by the Portuguese in 1618 and expanded by the Dutch, represents one of South Asia's best-preserved European fortifications. The pentagonal structure, surrounded by a water-filled moat, protected the colonial administration for over 300 years. Walking through the restored fort provides insights into colonial military architecture while offering panoramic views of Jaffna Lagoon and the city's distinctive red-tiled roofs. Nalla Kandaswamy Temple, dedicated to Lord Murugan, serves as the spiritual center of Jaffna Tamil Hinduism. The temple's daily rituals, conducted entirely in Tamil, maintain traditions that connect modern devotees with practices dating back 600 years. The annual 25-day festival brings thousands of pilgrims from around the world who participate in elaborate ceremonies, including firewalking, kavadi carrying, and classical Tamil devotional music performances. Casuarina Beach, stretching along the peninsula's western coast, offers pristine white sand and clear water perfect for swimming and relaxation. The beach's casuarina trees, planted by Dutch colonists to prevent erosion, create natural shade, while their distinctive needle-like leaves whisper in ocean breezes. Local fishermen still use traditional catamarans, catumaram, that inspired the modern catamaran design. Jaffna represents the heart of Sri Lankan Tamil culture, a city where ancient Hindu traditions, colonial history, and post-war recovery create a unique destination that offers profound cultural insights. From exploring Dutch fortifications to witnessing classical Tamil temple ceremonies, Jaffna provides visitors with authentic experiences of a culture that has maintained its distinct identity through centuries of political change and recent conflict. Unforgettable. Nestled in a perfect crescent-shaped bay just 4 miles southeast of Galle, Unforgettable creates a tropical paradise where golden sand meets turquoise water, protected by coral reefs and rocky headlands. This small beach community sits where coconut groves cascade down to the ocean, creating one of Sri Lanka's most photographed coastal scenes. The bay's natural protection makes it one of the few beaches on the southern coast safe for swimming year-round, even during monsoon seasons. Unforgettable name derives from a legend from the Ramayana epic, where Hanuman dropped a chunk of the Himalayas while carrying medicinal herbs to heal Rama's wounded brother. Local tradition identifies this beach as Unforgettable fell down here, making it not just a beautiful location, but a sacred site in Hindu-Buddhist mythology. Archaeological evidence suggests the area has been continuously inhabited for over 2,000 years, with ancient Buddhist caves hidden in the nearby hills. The transformation from sleepy fishing village to international beach destination began in the 1980s when European travelers discovered this pristine bay while exploring areas near Galle Fort. Unlike other Sri Lankan beach resorts developed by large hotel chains, Unforgettable grew organically as local families converted their homes into guest houses and learned to prepare international cuisine alongside traditional Sri Lankan dishes. The community's response to the 2004 tsunami, which swept 1,500 meters inland and destroyed most beachfront structures, demonstrates remarkable resilience. Local families rebuilt their businesses with improved designs while maintaining the intimate, family-friendly atmosphere that originally attracted international visitors. Today, second- and third-generation guest house owners speak multiple languages while preparing authentic Sri Lankan curries using recipes passed down through generations. Unforgettable Beach curves for nearly a mile in a perfect arc, where gentle waves lap golden sand beneath coconut palms that seem positioned by a landscape artist. The beach's protected location creates ideal conditions for swimming, snorkeling, and learning to surf. while the shallow waters near shore provide safe play areas for children. Traditional outrigger fishing boats add authentic local color, while offering sunset cruises and snorkeling excursions to nearby coral gardens. The Japanese Peace Pagoda, built on Rumasala Hill overlooking Unawatuna Bay, offers panoramic views across the southern coast while providing a peaceful meditation space. The gleaming white stupa, completed in 2005, represents Japanese Buddhist commitment to world peace while creating one of Sri Lanka's most dramatic sunset viewing locations. The 30-minute hike through tropical forest leads past ancient meditation caves and medicinal plants that support local Ayurvedic traditions. Rumasala Forest Reserve protects a unique ecosystem where plants typically found in higher elevations thrive at sea level, supporting local beliefs that this hill fragment contains Himalayan medicinal herbs dropped by Hanuman. The forest contains over 200 plant species, many with documented therapeutic properties used in traditional Ayurvedic medicine. Guided walks with local herbalists provide insights into plant-based healing traditions that remain central to Sri Lankan rural healthcare. Yatagala Raja Mahaviharaya, an ancient rock temple hidden in the forest above Unawatuna, contains 2,000-year-old cave paintings and a reclining Buddha statue carved from living rock. The temple's peaceful atmosphere and historical significance provide cultural depth to complement beach relaxation, while the resident monks welcome respectful visitors interested in Buddhist meditation practices. Unawatuna perfectly balances pristine natural beauty with authentic Sri Lankan hospitality, creating a beach destination where visitors can enjoy tropical paradise while experiencing genuine cultural connections. Whether you're watching sunrise from a Japanese peace pagoda, learning about medicinal plants from local herbalists, or sharing curry recipes with guesthouse families, Unawatuna offers meaningful travel experiences beyond just sun and sand. As our virtual journey through Sri Lanka's 10 jewels comes to an end, I want you to reflect on what we've discovered together. We've climbed ancient fortresses in the clouds, sipped tea where Scottish barons once surveyed their empires, walked through living colonial cities, and swum above coral reefs that have survived tsunamis and centuries of change. But more than that, we've witnessed how human resilience, cultural diversity, and natural beauty combine to create experiences that transform travelers into storytellers. Each destination we've explored offers its own lesson about life's richness. Sigiriya teaches us that audacious dreams, even those that end in tragedy, can create lasting beauty. Ella shows how mountain mist and tea plantations can provide the peace our busy lives desperately need. Kandy demonstrates how ancient traditions adapt and thrive in modern times, while Trincomalee proves that natural harbors attract not just ships, but centuries of cultural exchange. So let me ask you this. What aspects of Sri Lankan culture could enrich your daily life? Could you benefit from the Buddhist practice of mindful patience we saw in Kandy's temples? Might the Tamil intellectual traditions preserved in Jaffna inspire your own learning? Could the environmental recovery we witnessed in Sigiriya motivate your own conservation efforts? Or perhaps the community resilience demonstrated in post-tsunami reconstruction could strengthen your own neighborhood connections? Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more destination insights. Hit the notification bell so you never miss our latest travel stories, and share this video with anyone who needs a little inspiration for their next great adventure. Bye and see you soon.